Hello everybody, this is Dr. Kevin Pallas, and today I'm going to share with you the second strategy, retention. Now there's a myth in chiropractic that new patients are where it's at. The majority of DCs have swallowed this myth hook, line, and sinker. Regardless of the school you graduated from, technique, location, or insurance coverage, you're pushing your patients out the door by believing this outdated and inefficient concept. By not having a patient education system in place, you'll place yourself on the new patient treadmill for the rest of your life. This will be one of the most controversial concepts that you've ever heard in chiropractic today. Why? Because old beliefs are difficult to give up. Having a traditional leaky bucket practice in which your patients move on before they understand what chiropractic is all about means that you constantly have to add more new patients to replace the departing ones. What a waste of resources, the typical leaky bucket practice. You expend all your energy on replenishing your practice with a stream of new patients instead of keeping the ones you already have. What kind of strategy is that? Imagine a dentist trying to get rid of you with a few forced visits by saying, "Come back when your teeth hurt." You can't even imagine that scenario. Being a leaky bucket chiropractor tells your community that you're a copycat, a face in the crowd. You blend in with other chiropractors instead of standing out. You have no unique value to offer your patients in the marketplace. Recently, I saw a great commercial for a small regional bank. You might have not seen it. It might be regional, but you might have. It depicts a kid, small child, 4 or 5 years old, and an adult with an ice cream stand. The kid says to the man in the suit, "Hey, I'd like to have a nice chocolate ice cream cone." The man tells him that the ice cream is reserved only for new customers. The kid insists, "Hey, I'm a new customer," and the man replies, "Not new enough." Along comes another kid who's brand new and immediately gets an ice cream cone. Then the narrator says, "Even kids know that it's not right to only treat your new customers well." The commercial was very graphic and powerful. In any profession, retention is the solution to the new economic challenges and the new patient or client acquisition. See, it's a win-win for everybody because there's no sales tactics to be used here. There's no marketing, only the willingness to help. Money, time, insurance coverage, stalling tactics, they all disappear for good. Good riddance. One more advantage of long-term relationships over short-term adversarial relationships is that people want to form a partnership and cooperate with you. You got to understand that it's not your technical skills that are holding you back. It's your relationship building skills and patient education. Who knew? You know, there's so many times in life where people will say to us as coaches, that Dr. Kevin, sometimes you can be a tough coach, but you can also be a tender coach. Understanding. That's relationship building. It's not enough to be a good technical doctor. You got to understand where your people are coming from. In the new economy, practices that have managed to make lots of money in the past, having this monster-sized new patient acquisition machine, they're in for a real severe reversal of fortune. How come? Because the fuel they consume to make these new patient machines is becoming more and more expensive and less efficient. If you stubbornly refuse to alter your strategy to fit the current environment, you're going to make yourself extinct. More of what doesn't work won't help here. The end result will only be frustration, lack of profit, and a loss of love for your chosen profession in your life. In the past, you could afford to be sloppy, have no system in place, and you might still get away and earn a fairly good income. Those days are gone. Only a chiropractor who can adapt to changing conditions will prosper in this new dark economy. Here's another myth. Marketing and advertising will save you. When troubled DCs call us, they always are relieved when we tell them that this system works without any marketing or advertising. They say, "Come on, you're kidding me." They tell us of the horror stories of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on inefficient advertising, websites, print ads, screenings, newspaper inserts, yellow page ads. that underperform, or sometimes they don't perform at all. Spending more money just to put low-quality new patients into a leaky bucket practice only serves to intensify your frustrations by creating much higher overhead. Your gross may increase temporarily, like we talked about the roller coaster, but only to plunge back down because your net, and remember you can only bank and spend net, will also decrease dramatically. You end up spending more, working harder, and being paid less, a whole lot less. The downward mobile spiral. So many chiropractors are accepting less and less every day. Eventually, you may subconsciously begin to resent the very things you love, like your practice, your patients, your spouse, significant other, even your kids. Here's another myth. Offering more services, machines, or things to purchase doesn't hurt my practice. Oh boy, this is a very touchy subject. And it's a very emotional subject with DCs who have already invested in what we call BSOs, bright, shiny objects. Relax. Most people who join our program have already done it and have bought some bright, shiny objects, me included. As I've said earlier in the book, me and everybody else, we're all guilty. There's no morality, no good or bad to buying bright, shiny objects. Just understand the true meaning behind the bright, shiny objects, and then you're going to be in a great position to see if they truly fit your needs or if you're ready to move beyond temporary fixes and onto permanently, extremely profitable systems that are recession-proof, that are fun, they reduce your debt, they get your savings again, they reduce your worry about your future growth of your practice, and you know, it gets exciting again. Lack of retention is what causes many chiropractors to look for bright, shiny objects such as decompression, therapy, laser beam, teeth whitening, weight loss, massage, out of desperation. These are all red flags that signal a lack of patient retention. There's no need for those if you have retention. By attempting to get your patients to stay by offering them more services in an effort to increase their transaction value, how much they spend, their case average, you're actually devaluing chiropractic and becoming a jack of all trades and a master of none. Now let's take a look at the real cost of not fixing the traditional leaky bucket practice and relying only on new patient acquisition. This turns into an addiction of sorts, believe it or not. The less retention, the more your need for new patients and sales and other non-chiropractic products to produce more income. And there's nothing wrong with that, but do you see where this addiction leads you? There should be some lights going off right now in your heads right about now. Retention is the fastest and easiest way to stabilize this roller coaster ride of unpredictable, unreliable, inconsistent monthly income. As you increase your overhead expense, your practice becomes less and less profitable. You're also settling into the routine of working harder, longer hours, and earning less. You must get off the new patient treadmill by getting rid of this outdated, profit-draining concept. The next cost to you in your practice is a little less obvious. It's a little-known concept known as the lifetime value of a patient. Some chiropractors grovel for as little as a few $100, and as the lifetime value of that patient, a few $100 when they're out the door, while other DCs routinely bring in as much as $10,000, $20,000 or more per patient. What's the difference between them? Retention. If just 10% of your new patients that you work up continue their care, and each one of them had a lifetime value of $10,000 or $20,000 each, can you imagine how stable and profitable your practice would be? The permanent answer to retention is the no new patient solution. One last example of how lack of retention is killing your practice. Let's look at a $20,000 a month practice. Perhaps they get, 20 new patients per month. And if you wanted an $80,000 a month practice, you wouldn't need to see 80 new patients, would you? You'd only see 25 to 30. Now, again, that destroys a myth. Patient visit average is directly related to retention, which is the result of forging long-term relationships and creating understanding of this thing called chiropractic. A real eye-opener. Again, 20 new patients to see 20,000 a month, You don't see 80 new patients to do 80,000. It's more like 25 or 30. There goes the myth of new patients being the answer to your financial woes. Retention is the key. The only permanent solution is a system, a patient education system, that de-emphasizes new patients and emphasizes retention. So exciting. This is Dr. Kevin Pallas, and we'll see you in another video. Thank you for watching.